Here we go. World headquarters of Crawford Barbecue. Got my good friend Oscar, San Antonio rodeo champion, by the way, in case you didn't know. He's going to show us how he likes to do his prime rib.
So today what we're doing is we've got a prime rib. Brian, where'd you get this at?
Tri-County meat here in San Antonio. Just go see Joe. He can hook you up about anything.
Real good coated meat. If you're not familiar with a prime rib roast, that's what we have in front of us. This is probably about a 4-pounder. Excellent marbling. Your spinalis muscle, your eye, of course your bones. We're gonna clean this up just a little bit. A lot of the fat that's on here is real good fat, so we don't wanna get rid of that. That's really where a lot of your flavors come in the prime rib roast. You have the options of injecting these. I prefer not to. The reason I don't is because how true I wanna stay to the taste of the meat. So we're gonna go ahead and start cleaning on this.
You get some of that fat off just to have something to make it more likely seasoning can adhere and penetrate the meat. This looks like a piece of prime meat, but it's actually choice, so that just goes to show how good a meat Tri-County has. I was being a little chintzy when I bought that, and I didn't want to buy a prime. But man, that's a good looking piece of meat.
It is, really is.
They just French the bones there a little bit just for pretty things up, make it look nice.
So we're gonna treat this very, very simple. What we got here is we've got a butter concoction. It's a butter and herb and garlic mixture. I went ahead and pre-did this. But basically the ingredients that are sitting here in front of the bowl is what's inside this bowl. We're gonna start with a layer of Crawford's burnt beef rub. This is gonna be our base. And hopefully with this flavor of this fat that it's gonna give it, I think it's going to be very, very good.
It's one of my favorite meals.
This rub, if you actually taste it straight, it's very savory. It is beef based, Robert.
It's got some
Brian?
beef base in it, got some coffee in it, you know, salt, pepper, garlic, everything you need for to make your beef taste better.
To make some goodness.
Yeah.
And it's not real salty, and because it's not salty, what I did is I went ahead and picked up on I used salted butter as opposed to unsalted. If this rub was saltier, I would have dumbed it down on the salt on the butter side. But this piece of meat is so dense.
You can't hardly get too much seasoning.
Yeah, it's hard to do that. I'm not using no binders at all on this. Like I said, I really want to stay true to the flavor of the prime rib.
You can already tell that rub's going to give it a nice color.
It is, and I believe it does have activated charcoal in it, and that factor does give it a really good char look.
Yeah, absolutely, it does.
We're done with the burnt beef. We're gonna start working our butter on there.
So you just got rosemary and
that's it.
Butter and garlic.
Rosemary, butter, and garlic. I use 2 sticks of butter. Garlic's one of those ingredients, in my opinion, that you just can't have enough of.
No, especially on a big piece of meat like that.
And this, we're just gonna coat this on here, kind of like frosting the cake.
This is gonna be way better than any cake.
I agree.
So you're just gonna do one side, or you're gonna do all sides?
I'm gonna do it all. This thing is gonna be 100% coated. Once we're done coating it, we'll move it on to a barbecue pit, and we'll cook this sucker probably about 5 minutes per pound.
5 minutes a pound, so you got about 4 pounds. So you're thinking
it'll be about a 20-minute cook.
Yeah, 20-minute cook.
And after those 20 minutes, what we'll do is we'll shut it off, take it off the heat, and we'll wrap them, and leave it for about 2 hours.
Is there also a target temp you're looking for before you pull it off?
Typically about 120, 125. Like I said, it's going to climb on you.
Even once you pull it off?
Once you pull it off, it will. It'll hold its heat.
I've cooked a lot of prime rib, so I've never done like a butter cake like this. I'm anxious to see how this tastes.
It's a very herby. It's not too herby where it takes over, but it's probably one of my favorite Christmas things to cook.
Hey, nothing better than Christmas in July.
That's it. So that's basically it, guys. We're gonna have a cooling rack or something we can set this on.
Sure. I don't know if you guys noticed, but Oscar asked for a cooling rack, and magically, the kitchen fairy brought us one.
That kitchen fairy's gonna eat very well today.
Yeah.
So that's it, boys.
There we go.
That's your classic, very basic prime rib roast. And
Christmas style.
yeah. All right, so we're ready to get our prime rib on. Our pit here has reached about 500 degrees. And like I said, we're gonna wanna cook this thing for about 5 minutes per pound. So we're gonna go ahead and I'm cooking this thing fat side up. All right, so closing her up, and we'll let her do its thing, and we'll come back and check it out in a minute. All right, so let's see what we got now. So our butter herb crust is crusted up just like we want. Yeah, it's looking good. I'm gonna give it a spritz. All right. So everything's looking good, just like we want it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna wrap it. By doing this, I'm gonna give it some rest time. Put it in our Cambro. You're gonna let her take a nap and let the juices redistribute. And we'll come back and check it here shortly.
Oscar's prime rib is ready. Looks delicious. Got a nice butter crust going on there and all kinds of goodness. How'd your cook go?
Went well. Heat wasn't as intense as I wanted it, but it definitely, we made up for it with time, and it's, I have no doubt this thing's gonna be okay. And what's really carrying this prime rib roast is gonna be this burnt beef rub. It's good stuff. Probably didn't get it, but we did spritz a couple times with the beef spritz. But I guess no reason for us to wait any longer. Let's slice it up, see what's going on.
One thing I like about doing the bone in is you get a handle. It's got a makeshift handle there. Ooh, yeah.
There you go.
It's ready to go. I say you cut off another one and cut me a piece. You want my
This
favorite?
part right here is horrible. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna set it aside and I'll take care of that. Don't worry about that.
Well, I was gonna offer to take care of that part myself, but being a generous person I am. There you go. So I don't burden you too much. I'll take care of that one.
Sounds good.
Why don't you cut us off a piece?
So let's try some of this. See what we got. Really good.
You can really taste that butter crust. Normally I would have liked it a little bit more pink, but
I agree.
it's so juicy and flavorful. I eat
agree.
that all day long.
Let's try a piece, Mom. See what you think.
Sure, why not?
That crust you're gonna love.
That's good. It's very good.
So again, it's one of those dishes where the meat really takes the stage, and you don't want to take too much away from it. And the method that we used today just really accented that.
I'm just gonna keep eating.
Hector, Brian.
That's good.
Well, thanks for watching. Go to crawfordsbarbecue.com, buy all the products. Ask for them at your local butcher or your local barbecue supply shop. We're gonna chow down.
Why not?
Why not?